ahead and move this over here. We have a better view, right? All right. Gotta put it right here. That's a lot more stable. Cool. That works. All right, so this right here is for people that want to have a reading. Remember, the first reading is free, and the first question is free, and then every question thereafter is $1. So for all of you who are there, go ahead and write down your questions and then ask away. I'm gonna go ahead and pin it into the chat as well. How do I do that? I guess I can't do that. Anyways, it's right there. So if you guys, so whenever you guys see it, go ahead, phone back. I'm gonna go ahead and wait for people to come on. I'm gonna go ahead and start sending some invites out. Perhaps people would want a reading. Go ahead and jump on my game for a little bit too. Of course, I'll shuffle these cards first, and then I'll do that and get them ready for the next person. For those of you guys who like the Virgo reading or the Aquarius reading or even the Capricorn reading, or anybody who likes the TikTok readings, you can find me on there at AstroSeer19. Feel free to come over here. Oh, hello. We got a person. Okay, so I don't know if you read the description, but the first question is free, and then every question thereafter is $1. So for you, go ahead and write. Oh, no reading? Okay. Oh, wow. Wow. I hate it when that happens. Alright, so those are ready. Go ahead and Those are ready. And those are ready. All right, time to start inviting. All right, here we go. Okay. Hey there, guys. Let's see, make sure that it's on live messages. All right, so if you guys have read the description, this video specifically is for readings. So if you guys have a question, feel free to ask. First question is free. Every question thereafter is $1. So I would say formulate your questions, go ahead and write them down, and then from there, feel free to ask them all in an order or in just one big paragraph or whatever. Doesn't really matter. And I'll go ahead and draw cards and find out whatever the answers are to those questions. So, for instance, if you have one question like, say, is so and so going to call me, then I will go ahead and draw cards to find out whether the answer is yes and no, and then I'll go ahead and reshuffle to find out their feelings behind it, and then of course to see if maybe the tarot can give us a timing on that. I'll go ahead and put this a little further back. Okay, so feel free to ask away, guys. All decks are shuffled already, so they're primed and ready to go. And in the meantime, while you guys go ahead and get that ready, I will go ahead and make sure that I go ahead and start sending these invitations out too. Oh yeah, and by the way, the payment methods are there in the description below too. So I got several. Nah, several is probably a humble way of describing it, I suppose. But yeah, I'm just gonna be sending messages across. Oh, hi, Snowy. How are you doing? Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure thing. Any specific questions you have in mind aside from that one? Or is it just a general to see what's going on? Oh, okay. All right, and if you have any other questions beyond that, um, the payments are there. This question is going to be free for you. All right. Okay. So let's see what's popping out for you. Okay, so Six of Wands in the reverse. Usually I associate this card with victory, but let's see what else comes out. Six, actually, oh, all right. Now I'm getting a little bit more of a clear picture. The Six of Wands pertaining to the to the Eight of Wands has to do with a specific message that is not coming in. Now, you might not feel victorious about that. The fact that maybe I'm getting ghosting, like maybe somebody ghosted you. I'm also getting the feel that maybe you're expecting a message from someone but it hasn't came in yet. Regardless, though, I don't think you should worry about it. You have the King of Pentacles. So even if this doesn't pertain to money itself, this does pertain to the feelings of worth. So whatever happened in this situation, I think that this card in the reverse is talking about a personal journey that's going to lead you to self-worth. Okay, yeah, so the you know what, let me draw three more cards just to get, oh, look at that. They're jumping out for you today. All right. Ooh, okay. All right. So the reason why is because the more you think about it, the more you focus in on this message. I'm getting a split here. The more it's going to off balance you. But what I mean by that is with the with the King of Swords in the reverse, the idea generally is that it's going to keep you anxious. It's going to keep you guessing, right? Because when you take the King of Swords in the upright, it is a card that is associated with mental clarity. So the more you don't focus in on it, the better it's actually going to be for you, in the sense that you can actually focus your attention on other things. The Queen of Wands in the reverse here in this case for you, Snowy, is all about understanding this personal journey. Because when these two cards come out like this, what ends up happening is that once you actually partake of this journey here, and this personal journey that'll lead you to some type of victory, these two cards flip themselves up. Now, if you understand the connotation of these two cards specifically means being able to take action upon whatever it is that you're trying to take action upon, and having mental clarity. Sometimes the universe will separate you from various different instances, or will take you down a route that leads you to things like ghosting, no messages, perhaps a period of introspection that'll lead you to a better opportunity on the other side. Now, I feel like whatever whatever this is dealing with, it's dealing with the release from obsessions, as well as a release from whatever your idea or perception of injustice is. You might consider this an injustice, and you might actually be either it could be something with the Libra, or it could be something with the Capricorn. Doesn't necessarily have to be that, but it could be somewhere along those lines. Okay, so I don't know, whenever you come back, I'll go ahead and explain that. But I'm gonna go ahead and draw some fairies oracles to see what they have to say for either side. I'll go ahead and draw one for each side and see. Ah, yes. It's about the silent communication. The more subtle aspects of that. Ah, yeah. So it's bringing you more to a sense of unity in yourself, is what it is. So improper giving and receiving is a major aspect of that. And so long as you do not let it go to rest, you will not receive whatever it is that you're looking to receive. Still with me, Snowy? Or is this a new person? And if so, go ahead and make yourself known in the comments. Okay. All right, Snowy. So, I'm gonna bring these cards down a little more. Not sure if you could still see them. I mean, if you could see them, but on the one hand, there's messages that are not coming in, right? And you mentioned, what was it? You mentioned that I knew, or that you knew what I was talking about. The ghosting, or like there's no messages happening. You feel like it's not a victory. And if you keep thinking about that, what will end up happening is this. You'll have mental confusion, no clarity around the subject. And because of that, it'll make you feel like not confident about yourself. It'll touch upon that Venus retrograde energy. So the important thing to note, though, is that when these cards come out in the reverse, if you go on this personal journey, what ends up happening is the universe actually sends you a message, tells you, hey, you know what? This is why it all happened. And then these two cards actually flip in the upright, and you start to encompass more of those energies. The energies of clarity, the energies of passion, the energies of being able to move forward on the things that you've had mental clarity on. Now, the King of Swords was in the reverse right underneath the Eight of Wands. That was reversed. So this communication is going to happen on the mental level. Now, I ended up drawing a Fairies Oracle card to clarify that. And what ended up happening was that with the Argyle Parrot in the reverse, it's about what, it's not about what they're saying technically, but it's about their actions, and like what they're saying behind their actions, or behind whatever it is that they're portraying, right? Pay attention to the more subtle areas of that. On the other hand, you know, we tarot readers, when we see things like the Devil in the reverse and the Justice in the reversed, we tend to think, oh, well, you know what? Somebody's been served injustice, right? Or at least from the perspective of the person themselves, they feel like they were injusticed. regardless of that, with this card in the upright, I feel like you're still holding your own. You still feel abundant, right? Be careful not to carry an arrogant energy, because arrogance and that kind of thing. What else? There's arrogance. What's that other energy? It's a self. Is it self assurance? You know what? I can't remember, but this is a very bullish energy. It's a very stubborn energy, and a lot of the times that can manifest itself as not wanting to learn lessons. So, in that, understand that the lessons here were to release yourself from obsessions, from addictions, perhaps to this other person or to this other thing that you felt was injusticing you. And the fact is that when you see this type of situation here, and especially since the cards are reversed, it's like you're loosening yourself from that event or from those people or whatever. And then I drew a Fairies Oracle card to clarify that, and Unity came out. So the idea here is that you might feel injustice by the way that the situation has evolved and by the way that the situation has actually played itself out. And the whole purpose of that was to bring you closer to source. I'm going to go ahead and pull out an affirmation for you now. Oh, and then also what ends up happening is, if you can understand that and go on that personal journey, what ends up happening is this Ten of Swords that's in the reverse ends up turning itself upright. So until you can understand that aspect of understanding the more subtle communication of whatever it is that they're doing or that is going on in that event or situation, the closer and the faster you can actually reach unity with the source. And because okay, so the Laume was supposed to be at the bottom, and now it's not. The rest of the deck is kind of like tossed around. However, the one card that came out was the Maiden. Now the Maiden has a childlike energy, and the Maiden itself, it has faith, is basically what this card is suggesting. Now, if you look at the number, that's number 14. 1 plus 4 is 5. So whatever this Maiden energy is connected to this whole personal journey. The personal journey is to help teach you how to be childlike, because, oh, and also how to use imagination. Pay attention to the fact that with both of these cards, I'll go ahead and flip this one up. They both have these antenna-like things, whatever they are. They transmit energy. They transmit energy, so that's the reason why the Arval parrot is not talking. The Arval parrot communicates through the mind. And the Arval parrot also communicates to other people and receives those messages intuitively. Not just intuitively, but also telepathically. Now, times to draw these affirmation cards. And you know what? It's crazy, but things are meant to happen the way they happen. And for me to try to reach over there and get that deck, it was meant to happen. Now we know why. Okay. Ooh, yes. So, 7 of Swords. This is something you have to tell yourself. My ability to conquer my challenges is limited. Limitless. Limitless, limitless. That's actually part of your journey. I'm going to draw one for this side over here. And it should come out in the upright. Yeah, it actually did. Ace of Cups, or the Ace of Hearts. This one reads, I create a safe and secure place. I create a safe and secure space for myself wherever I am. Okay, so that's one thing that you're going to be able to to repeat to yourself over and over and over and over until you actually reach unity with the source. Now, what does it mean to reach unity with source? Well, in my best guess and also my experience is when you start to receive downloads from the universe, synchronicities and things like that, you're getting much closer to unity with source. And at the bottom, okay, my fears of tomorrow are simply melting away. How about that? That's very fitting for the Ace of Cups there. All right. Hopefully that answered your question. Was there any other question that you had in mind? And if so, oh, you're welcome. Thank you for being here. I like it when people come through and they say, you know, what does Source have in store for me? Because when that happens, Source gives you directly what you need. And then also a lot of the times, as is noted with, you know, me and like watching other tarot readers, Source lets you know what it needs to know when it needs to happen. And at the same time, like when we understand the sensitivity to energy, we end up having the ability to understand when Source is giving us a message. And then, of course, usually the messages like that are the messages that we need to hear in that moment. Which is weird because now that I'm like talking about that, I get the idea of splenic authority in my human design. And in my human design, splenic authority is in the now intuition. So being able to do readings like this and being able to draw cards and answer people's questions, it actually works out pretty well. Ooh. Yeah. And though I might not see it as as an idea that reaches celebration, it is something that does require work for me. So, and also at the same time, is work that will generate something in the future. You know, small ideas, right? Small ideas can become big things. Well, I mean, just that right there, like it, something small turning into something big. And then it's a 4 to the 8, so you know, stability, which creates or generates some money from other people. That's cool. I like that. Perhaps that has something to do with you too. The idea generally is that if you do take small ideas and you work on them, they actually do become something big. All right. My battery hit 20%. Let's see how much longer I can do these readings, and then from there, well, I'll keep doing them till the battery runs out. That'll be pretty interesting, huh? All right. If there's any other questions, go ahead and write them down and then choose any one of the payment options there, and we can go ahead and get another one in. And how's your day going so far? I hope you're doing well over there, wherever over there is. I feel like that. Yes. Alright, so I added it to my story. As you can see, bam. Oh, hello there. Welcome to Tarot and Astrology for All. I'm doing readings. So, first question is free. Every question thereafter is $1. So, go ahead and ask your questions. And if you have multiple questions, go ahead and write those down. And for every other question after the first one, it's going to be $1. So, keep that in mind. Hello, Era. Ira? Ira? Ah, nice. Yes. So the next week, let's go into that. Interesting. Also, I would say if you know your sign, AstroSeer19 on TikTok is where I post the weekly readings. I'll go ahead and do a reading for you right here. But as far as the weekly goes, you can catch that on AstroSeer19, okay? All right, let's see. Still with me? Okay. All right, in the next week, you got the Ten of Swords. So something's gonna come to an end. Done, dead, over with. However, it's not the end of the entire event completely. It's more of like in your mind, it's already done. It's already ended. You've already come to a successful conclusion, and now you just gotta wait for the event itself to play itself out. Yeah, whatever it was an injustice to you. And you know that for sure. Me looking at the cards, I know that. It goes from 10 to 9. So to try to go back to that is considered a step backwards. Or rather, you feel like maybe you've taken a step back, which is a good thing because every step back makes 2 steps forward, right? That's what came to my mind right now. All right, so this surrounds a relationship, a soulmate connection. In whatever this is, this taught you how to balance your dark and light side, and it also has given you some type of wisdom. This wisdom is going to help you move forward. Generally, whenever you have the Lover's card come out, especially after an injustice, I feel like there is something else that's coming in for you. The something in that's coming in for you might actually be connected to a new soulmate. Now, this new soulmate, as with any other soulmate, is going to teach you something, obviously. And I feel because in the last relationship that you had, it's like you put in something, but you didn't really get back whatever it is that you were supposed to get back. And that expectation left you a little bit, what's the word? It left you kind of questioning your beliefs, if that makes any sense. Because I feel like you believe in the universe. I feel like you believe that the universe has things lined up for you. But something like this, an injustice of whatever kind this was, I feel very much that like it left you questioning your belief systems and also looking at your emotions. Because this cup right here is a cup that is given to you by the universe, a new emotional state of being. And up until the page, you've had to go through what? The Two of Wands, the Two of Hearts, which is entering into relationships, gaining courage and things like that. And then the Three of Swords, obviously heartbreak. The Three of Swords. The Three of Cups is a celebration of some kind, right? The Four of Cups, you've grown apathetic. Maybe it was too much celebrating. Maybe that too much celebrating led to like having no money. So in a sense, it's like the idea is that he's been through a lot emotionally and has gotten up to this point where instead of getting depressed, instead of getting anxious, you're going to have the ability to be able to look at your belief systems and truly bring them into being and balance within your mind, within your heart, and also within your soul. So, which is good because on the other hand, I feel like whatever this influence was that you were dealing with was sneaky. Now, I would also say that because you dealt with that in the past too, in the future, there may be something that's a little bit more beneath the surface that may pop up. But regardless, I think that whatever it is that you dealt with, you can actually deal with it again. Or rather, you could nip it in the bud before it even has any reign over you. You have the numbers 6 to the 7 to the 7. So 677 or 67 or 77. The idea generally is that with any cards that have gold behind them, there's knowledge. So the 10 of Swords has gold right here. The 3 of Wands has gold here. The Lovers has gold at the top. The Chariot has gold around it. And then also the 7 of Swords. And all of this is indicative of knowledge. Knowledge that you are going to come to this week. Now, this knowledge is going to be very beneficial to you because, in a sense, it's going to help you to put an end to whatever it is that you're dealing with. Personally, I feel like somebody fought with you, in a sense that like they were driven for winning. They were driven for, having a, I guess, domineering mind, if you could say that. But, there comes a certain point where you can allow it into your life. And then there's a certain portion of time in which then it has to be cut off or else your health starts to be affected. And I'm going to draw 2 of these to find out what's going on with these 2 energies. The done dead deal and this new thing that's coming in. And we'll see what the energies of the emotions and things like that actually encompass. All right, so part of this has to deal with an end to your negative self-talk. 5, it adds up to 10. So 10, 10. And in a sense, I feel that during this week, whatever happens, have that positive dialogue in your mind, not a negative one, because the soul shrinker is usually associated with negative thoughts. Okay, yeah, so nothing, don't begin anything with this other person yet. If anybody comes through, understand that it's meant to be taken slowly. It's meant to be taken slowly because emotions are involved, and these emotions might actually be what's considered baggage from the past relationship. The idea generally here is that 1 plus 5 is 6, so that's the number of Virgo. Virgo is a thinker, and the fact that it's in the reverse, it's almost like you're sitting inside your chariot, but you're not going anywhere, if that makes any sense. Let me draw one more, see what the relationship energy is between this this past thing, situation, person, and this new thing. Okay, yeah. It's all about healing. So with this card coming out in the and also number 10, 10, 10, 10. 10 angel number is associated with new ideas and the energy of the potential of the universe. And then, of course, at the bottom, the RAR. So yeah, this does deal with energy. Both energies are connected. And before you move on from one to the next, we'll go ahead and put this like this. Yeah, and so before you move on from one situation to the next, there is going to be a necessity for you to heal. Hopefully that answered your question, Ariel? I'm gonna draw some affirmation cards for you. And these are things that you can affirm to yourself. Okay, and these affirmations are going to help you heal. I'm gonna draw 3 of them for you, 1, 2, and 3. And oh, thank you, and you're welcome. These should help you fairly well. This first one is going to be to help you not just mentally but emotionally disconnect from this situation here. The next one will help you in your healing process. Okay, 7 of Cups, or usually would be 7 of Cups in the Rider-Waite. This card in the reverse, I am guided in my every step by spirit who leads me towards what I must know and do. So that's one thing that you should affirm to yourself, or that you could affirm to yourself as positive language, right? Positive self-talk is always a good thing. And understand that spirit is leading you through this. So if you understand that, then it removes anxiety about the future, and it also helps you to heal quite a bit. All right. 5 of Cups, or the 5 of Hearts. I am at peace with who I am as a person. Okay, that's going to help you heal quite a bit. It also help you move on to the next relationship as well. Oh, ooh. So you got one that popped up in the upright. I am learning valuable lessons from myself every day. Ooh, that's definitely going to be very useful for a journey, especially a journey in which you are taking steps with the new person, and understanding that understanding that the energy of undermining, because I feel that's one of the things that was going on, is done, dead, and over with. And anytime you spot that, because now you're intuitive and perceptive, it'll be able to be taken care of the moment you spot it. All right. Hopefully that helped you out, Ira. And hopefully that helps you heal too. The most important one is understanding that you're at peace with who you are as a person, okay? All right. Sorry, I just butchered that name. Um, oh, you're welcome. And go ahead if you like this, subscribe to the channel, and also check out my TikTok. That's at AstroSeer19. Will Jake unblock me in September? Well, let's see. Okay, and one question I want to ask you, Shrushi, or Shrushti? Okay, yeah. One question I want to ask you on that is, where's your mentality, at least here coming into the month of September? Because it's very important that you occupy the necessary vibration of the things you want to attract. Actually, you know what? First of all, you're gonna need strength. All right? Okay, so yes. So as far as confusion goes, it's like this. If I take the symbolism behind the strength card, what is she doing? Is she opening the lion's mouth, or is she closing it? In your perception. She's definitely not trying to open it. What she's doing is she's closing it. It's much easier to close a lion's mouth than it is to open it. The idea generally here is that she's been given divine guidance and she's been given divine, what would you say? Divine information and divine knowledge to be able to understand that it's much easier to close the lion's mouth than it is to open it. That's what gives her strength. Now, the general idea, though, is one main thing that gives her strength is that she's connected to the universe. So, in that being said, what we should do is we should always strive to raise our vibration. If you raise your vibration and you enter into a vibration of, let's say, for instance, of seeking clarity, you will find clarity. Because that is there, this will be there also. Because you are confused, there will be clarity. I'm going to draw a couple of cards, and then we'll go ahead and go to this Janit person. Okay, yeah. The vibration of being confused is not going to bring very much to you. It's not going to bring very much energy of anything, really. She's connected to nature, so I feel that you need to connect to nature yourself. Right now, okay, so let's just put it this way. The Emperor is coming out in the reverse. It's letting me know that you're feeling not just confused, but like you don't know what your value is. And I'm going to draw one more card. Yeah, so because you feel like you're not valuable, or how should I say it? Well, I'll just put it this way. So regardless of the fact how you feel, you have knowledge. That knowledge should be put to use. However, your incoming knowledge and the way that it expresses itself is like this. If you're sending messages out to the universe and you're just consistently sending messages out to the universe and you're pouring your cup out to the universe, what ends up happening is you're not available for downloads. It's almost like being emotionally cut off or emotionally closed off in a relationship. You're not going to manifest anything. Technically, you want to be in a receptive mode so that you could receive the downloads from the universe. And that is going to put you into the vibration of being able to attract whoever it is that you're attracting. Now, do keep in mind there's a rubber band theory or effect that happens, that the more you chase something, the more it will run away, right? Just like when you're chasing an animal through the forest, it's going to run away because you're chasing it. The moment you stop, it stops. By it, I would imagine it's the situation, or it could be the person themselves. General idea behind that is that as soon as you move the other way, you ever hear that term, you don't know a good thing till it's gone? Well, that's generally what's going to happen in this situation. They blocked you, more than likely to help, or to have them see themselves see whether you would do something or try to go after them or anything like that. Regardless of whether you do, regardless of whether you are experiencing that, regardless of whether that's true or not on their side, I feel that if you can release yourself from that idea of having to chase them, you're going to be a lot more abundant. Let me draw 2 more cards. What else do you have to say to her, Spirit? Oh, 3. Okay, so in a sense, if you take a look at these cards, there's an opportunity that's being handed to you by the universe, and that opportunity is strength, right? If you take the second card is telling you that so long as you try to hold on to this situation, whatever it is, the less abundant you're going to be. And this third card, if you are just consistently putting things out to the universe and expecting certain things, then what ends up happening is you don't have hope. And you don't have the ability to connect to not just consciousness, but reality as well. You kind of get stuck in the middle. So, I hope that helped. I'm going to go ahead and draw an affirmation card for you, and then we're going to go ahead and do a spread. This is my own CBT spread that I will be doing. And through it, we'll find out what's going on his end, okay? So, I am adventurous. I overcome fears by following my dreams. There you go. I say, focus on your dreams, and you'll understand that regardless of whether he calls or unblocks you or not, it doesn't really matter, in the sense that the universe is probably trying to guide you towards better. But let's see what's going on with this guy. And, okay, yeah, so this person is restless in the thought process. Was this person very ADHD? Was this person like always busy in their mind and their heart, and then also like physically? Emotionally closed off? And but pretty decisive about various different things. I mean, it makes sense. A very silent person, huh? Very interesting. Almost like you have to feel him out, huh? Okay. Yeah, so at the center of it all, I feel like his attention was elsewhere. So that's why I asked whether he was ADHD, because okay, at the bottom of the deck and in the middle of his energy, it's like one person is it's like at one point he's looking this way, and another point he's looking this way. You know, in this card right here, the 2 of Wands, he's actually looking at the globe and seeing what the possibilities are. And on this one, he's actually looking out into the world. So generally, both of these are portals, and I feel like he's been walking a different path from you. And so now that I think about that, it does give me the idea that this person, whoever he is, was looking out towards other options. And that's the reason why he was able to block you. In the sense that whatever it was, for him was a decisive move, intentional. Let's get a feel for the emotions. Okay, so he was blocking a transformation that was trying to take place. So maybe in a sense, he could be blocking you because of that. Maybe that's what he's looking at right now, is how he could become maybe a better person. Did he say anything about what's the word that comes to mind? It's not you, it's me. I mean, if he did say anything, it'd probably be something like that. He wouldn't be wrong on that. Right now, the likes are 1 and 1, or 1 and 1. And look at that, 1 1. Also, the other 1 1 over here too. So 11 11 11. Oh, actually, right here too. What you're doing, or what's happening for you, is you're walking through multiple portals. For him, I feel like he's doing the same, but in a different direction. Okay, so the Pook is telling you, yes, there's bad and the good. I mean, there's bad here, but there's good. In a way, I feel like the reason why he made his decision was because he was realizing, yes, his decision may be viewed as bad, but he's just trying to find the good in whatever decision he made. 6. Well, in the reverse, it's 9. So in a way, he was trying to do this for his personal happiness, because for him, the Ace of Cups was in the reverse, just like it was. So he was trying to look. I mean, he's seen the bad, but he's seen that there was good in it, just simply because of the fact that he was going through a transformation process, and he was restless. He couldn't do it in the relationship, so he chose, okay, this might be a bad thing to break up, but I need to find myself. And that's what he was doing. The 9 is signifying that he was doing it for his own personal happiness, regardless of whether that could be viewed as selfish or not. I think that's all based on people. And I believe for him, he was just trying to release some type of darkness within him. The Dark Lady is usually about like obsessions, addictions, and things like that. And also that's the number 2. So he was very decisive about his decision to look at the greater picture, is what it is. You got Mick the Necromancer in the reverse, and Mick, when he sees details, he then tries to put those details to the greater world and try to find out, okay, is this true? Does this seem to be the case? For him, he was working on it, and the reason why was because he was working on ecstasy. Now, another thing that is also important is that he was going through a transformation of some kind, but he was getting, it was almost like he was getting squeezed into a bottleneck. Maybe he was gathering together with friends, but regardless, he was seeking his own happiness. And I feel that in some way, shape, or form, if he comes back, he's gonna have, he would have found Mercury retrograde. He would have found that happiness or that peace or whatever it was that he was looking for. And if he comes back, well, that's really up to you. But he should come back as a new person. So as far as unblocking you in September, no. I think the answer to that is a firm no, because he's still in the process of, figuring things out and feeling the energies. And I don't know if he's into tarot or anything like that, but if he is, then it wouldn't surprise me one bit. That was a good one. Hello, Blissful. Oh yeah, and then for those of you guys who are here, if you want, feel free to donate. Any donations help, and I'm actually gathering donations so that, well, donations and payments so that I can build up the website. On that website, I'm gonna go ahead and put, the different articles like Gate 22 and Human Design. Oh, cool! Thank you. In that website, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put Human Design, numerology. I'm gonna put Pythagorean calculators. What else? Different links to different websites. My own articles as far as like what I've gained from my own research, as well as the links to these videos, as well as my TikTok page, and then also it's just kind of like a side project. I have songs that I'm making, and these songs are going to be placed onto the website as well, so that anybody who wants to listen to any new music, they can do so. I'm just gonna give you guys one little snippet, I guess you could say, of a song that I just recorded recently. You guys are gonna get a first-hand ear at this. Can't put it too high because kids are asleep right now. Okay. It's really catchy music too. This is all music that I create on multiple apps. I may, and I might use these as far as like intros to some of these videos and stuff like that. And of course, once I get them recorded, you guys will get the chance to be able to hear the lyrics with them. All right, Blissful, go ahead and go with your question. Forecast till the end of this year. Okay. Sag Sun, Libra Moon. Okay. Sure thing. All right. So, how would I do this? Okay. I'll go ahead and do. I'll do each month. Well, yeah, I'll do one card for each month, and then I'll draw on the energies, and then affirmation cards to give you an overview of that. But if you want an overview of yours specifically, go ahead and message me on Messenger at DavidJesusBarrozo, and I can actually give a more in-depth reading with your date, your time, and your location. I can actually reach into a lot of different divination methods. I'll go ahead and pause this here. And with those divination methods, I'll be using tarot, astrology, numerology, human design, and my own intuitive faculties. If you go ahead and check out the other videos that I have right here, you'll see that I take notes. And then with those notes, I go ahead. Oh, actually, we can figure that out too. I can go ahead and take a look at your chart, and then from there, I'll ask you questions, and we can zone in, or we can zone. I don't even know what the word is. We can find out your time based on the questions that I ask, and using my own intuition, and find out more or less what the time is. I actually got it to within 1 or 2 minutes for my dad. That was actually pretty cool. Yeah, that's actually what's called I think house delineation, if I'm not mistaken. So with house delineation, it's actually a very interesting topic, just simply because of the fact that once we find out your ascendant, or actually once we find out your time, and we make sure that the ascendant is right where it needs to be, then we can actually ask you questions about your career, how you feel about your career, where you feel you need to be, and usually sometimes those challenges tend to be right there. And if this has anything to do with your career, then it has to do with challenges. Those challenges, whatever they are, they're associated with intuition. So maybe perhaps it has to do with understanding your intuition, and then bringing yourself into alignment with whatever it is that you need to intuit. So in the month of September, you're going to be looking at gaining intuition. You're going to be gaining the balance between the light side and the dark side, or the conscious and unconscious, or the knowing and the unknowing. It's almost like you're going to be in the middle. Yeah, you're gonna find the balance. The important thing is, I wonder if this has something to do with like questioning yourself. Like let's say for instance you're just kind of thinking, you're like, man, it's like I wonder why this situation happened this way, and then boom, it leads you to one thing, and then from there you're like, you know what? Let me go ahead and look that up. So you look it up and you're like, but wait a minute, I kind of have a feeling it's this. And then you look it up, and then you're able to like be like, oh, you know what? I knew it was that. If that's the case, then what ends up happening is, first, you have to go through this period of not knowing. And then from there, as you start to ask the questions, so as you start to ask the questions, what ends up happening is you gain strength. So that's in the first month. That's in September. September is all about building your mental strength, but it's also about connecting yourself to the infinity. See? 22. You want to know what I've learned about 22? Let's see if I have it right here. And if not, go ahead and message me on Messenger, and I will go ahead and pass you my notes on number 22. Perhaps your human design has something to do with gate 22, the gate of grace, having something to do with how you move into a room and how you read it, as well as like understanding what each person in that room needs based on your intuition, based on your sensory perception, and how your heart feels. If you have anything to do with the heart, that's going to be for the month of September. Okay, so in the month of October, you're not going to get any physical messages, I feel. But what's going to end up happening is your intuition and the fact that you're gaining strength from that is going to start popping through. Okay, yeah. Okay. See, what ends up happening is when you gain that strength and you feel like, for instance, somebody's not giving you a specific message that you're supposed to be getting, or that you feel you're supposed to be getting, what ends up happening is you build strength around the idea that as you increase your intuition, and as you increase and as you limit the amount of the veil that's keeping you from that other side, what ends up happening is you're able to move forward with strength. So what you're undergoing right now is actual training. It's intuition training. It's teaching you that you need to trust yourself, and you also need to trust your intuitive messages that come in. Yeah, see, because you're going to be tested again. Man, the universe and their tests, right? So in the month of September, you gain this strength. In the month of October, you're actually able to move forward on those ideas and because the Ace of Wands is about like not just movement, but it's movement upon the growth that you've gained, and that is related to strength. Because then in November, you're going to feel that confusion again. However, if you take the lessons that you learned from October, what ends up happening is you don't feel confused. You're actually able to tell the difference between your you're able to tell the differences between what's going on and what people say is going on, or what people are projecting, and you're no longer confused in that month. But if you don't follow that, what ends up happening is you end up finding that, hey, you know what, I'm actually having a little bit of trouble reading it. Okay, so I used to read tarot 2 years ago, but I detached from cards and learned to use the brains. Yeah, actually, well, there could be something in that too, where you. Okay, so this is the way that I'll describe it, because whatever it was that I was going to say was going to be way too long. Your brain connects to logic, connects to material world, connects to requisites and prerequisites, and it also connects to meditation, right? Thinking. But here's the thing, though. There's another side to that. That's the esoteric side, the divination side. I feel like you stopped doing tarot 2 years ago just simply because of the fact that your brain had to move itself into the logical side in order to understand patterns, because that's what happens when things happen in the physical world. You start to see patterns, and through seeing those patterns, you may have and also it's funny because this brings up a story. Back, I want to say like a year ago, or no, not a year ago, back in the first year of me doing tarot, this was back in 2019, I was always reading the book. I was always looking at the book, looking at what the book was saying about the different cards. And I started growing accustomed to looking at the book. The universe brought my fiance in to tell me, well, I'm more intuitive than you. And boy, did that light a fire under my ass for sure. Like, I was like, wait a minute, huh? You more intuitive than me? I'm the tarot reader. So what ended up happening was I started not using the book. And because I stopped using the book, my intuition actually grew. And, as I think about that, it's funny because it was the logical, and slowly I was taught the physical. So you went from, I went from logical to intuitive. You went from intuitive to logical. Now it's time to find that center. Yeah, see? It's actually quite the opposite. You went logical, and you went from spiritual to logical. Now it's time to bring yourself back. And actually, now that I think about it, if you're able to do that and you're able to bring yourself back to your center, you and I aren't going to be that much different. I mean, even the whole thing with you being a female and him being a male, that right there, this is the paradox effect, right? And usually the paradox effect is important for us readers, because we get to experience not just the extremes, but we get to experience both sides. I have a song. It's the lyrics go, "We all have a light side and a dark side, and each side has its uses in this life essentially. A positive and a negative, a north and a south pole, and what appears to be opposing energies. Reality is made as a result of this. Energy dancing within this isolated system. Uncanny how we have the skill and ability to gather plasma like miasma. It's impossible to miss them. These lyrics are impossible to list, like seeing morning mist. It isn't possible to miss them. You get the gist then? Let it bring you bliss then? Do the inner work and let the results just whisk in. If opposites attract, that is light and dark of any two forces when they collide. Isn't that a kiss then? I am a soldier, not a victim. I can assist in your journey, but then you'll have to use your wisdom, right? So the idea generally there is that you have to bring those two things together. Only then will you find that strength. And that's why Spirit is actually leading you on this path. Now, the reason why this connection served its purpose was because of the fact that, in the sense that in September, you had that idea of understanding your intuition and gaining strength, or returning back to your center, right? In the month of October, you're not going to be given those physical messages because it's meant for you to come back to that center. And then from there, you're going to be tested to see how well you learn this lesson. And in that sense, you're going to be given a soulmate connection that forces you into some type of confusion so that you can understand how to use both your logical and intuitive portions of your brain. Well, not just your brain, but your consciousness. Because what's really being sought for is temperance, the balance, alchemy. It's a energetic alchemy, and that's the journey that you're on. And as soon as you learn that, let's see what else. How did that Eight of Cups in the reverse? I feel like this right here is what happens if you don't learn that lesson. It's like, in a way, you're always going to be left with wanting more, if that makes any sense. Because, I don't know, it's weird. I was always left wanting more when I started following my intuitive side and not bringing it back to the center. Yeah. Because here's the thing. When you start to understand the inner workings of the universe, which can be done through divination, what ends up happening is you start to understand. And when you start to understand, you have strength. That's the whole reason why the Leo card is, the Leo energy is right there on the back of the King of Wands. He's able to see the small details. Thing is, for the month of, okay, let's go ahead and draw cards for December. Ah, yes, you are going to be receiving those intuitive messages in December. So, I think what you're going to do in the month of December is you're going to retake a look at your spiritual beliefs, and then you're going to start to understand everything. You're going to understand that the universe put you on that stage to test you. And I feel like you're going to come out with flying colors, because the guy technically has a smirk on his face. Let's see what else comes out for the month of December. Okay, so yeah, I told you. In terms of the mind, you're not going to have anything. But intuitively, you're going to know. So trust your intuition. You won't receive any logical messages, but you'll still be able to move forward with strength on whatever it is that you learn in September. That October time frame is going to be a lot of trying to understand how to put these two things together. November is your test. So get ready, start writing notes. Also, pass me, we'll talk about it. I can actually give you a report, and for you specifically, since I see that you're on this journey, I'll give you 50% off. How about that? I'll go ahead and write a big report, connect links and all of that, so that you can read through And I'll give you my version and intuition and all of that, and then you can intuit whatever else you intuit from there. I'm gonna draw one more card just to see what the general energy is for these 4 months. Well, I guess Spirit had... Oh, yes, I like that. 10 of Pentacles. Generally, it's meant for you to take this journey alone, and you're gonna figure out... Okay, you're gonna go on this journey alone, obviously, or it's gonna be a celebration of your own, and you're gonna be very fulfilled, emotionally and physically. All right, so let's tell what the general energies are for your emotions for each of these months, just so you can get a preview. The Singer of Intuition. Cool. So definitely intuition is necessary for the month of September. This whole month, focus on increasing your intuition again. Also, I would say analyze the different ways in which you have trusted your intuition, and when it's because your intuition will always pull through, no matter what. And anything that doesn't pull through is not intuition. That's the way to tell. All right, Luminous Gloom in the reverse. That's actually a good card to have in the reverse, because what it means is that you're getting over these feelings of whatever it was that was plaguing you before. Yeah, definitely releasing negative energy, releasing negative, how would I say, I want to say, the one thing that's coming to mind is releasing defense mechanisms. And I feel that that's part of your journey, is to release different mechanisms, but in order to release them, you actually have to be aware of them. And that's what this period is about. Mercury retrograde. Yeah, and taking yourself out of your shadows in the month of December. Now, this is going to be... So the month of September is going to be very intuitive based, and it's also going to be very thoughtful and analytical. In the month of October, it's going to be... it's going to be a return back to your spiritual self, is the best way that I could put it. 5 plus 6 is 11. But if we see these cards in the reverse, 9 plus 5 is 14. So yes, there's going to be changes that happen in the month of October. Okay. The important thing is, open up your heart, your soul, and those things, because you might actually be a poet or a musician or some type of engineer that deals with poems. Or specifically, you might be holding on to certain things that need to be let go. Okay, I'm going to draw an affirmation card for each of these months. These are affirmations that you should repeat yourself throughout the months. Go ahead and write them down. I am at peace with who I am as a person. Yes, that's for the month of September. I am at peace with who I am as a person. Let's see. I wake up today with strength in my heart and clarity in my mind. That's one that you're going to have to tell yourself within the month of October. Ten of Wands, or 10 of Diamonds. My efforts are being supported by the universe. My dreams manifest into reality before my eyes. Ooh, that one's a very, very good one. And it's the number 10. For whatever reason,